Welcome to episode 331 of Game Deflators Podcast. My name's John. This week I am joined by Will of the PlayStation Ain't Dead Podcast. Will?
Hey, that's me. I'm Will, PlayStation Ain't Dead Podcast. Hi.
Hey, you've been on multiple times before. You're back again. Definitely appreciate it. Always fun to have you on.
Yeah, well, someone's got to fill in while Ryan's doing what Ryan does.
Yeah, every time, man. It's if it's not, taking off several weeks to handle private, personal life stuff, it's moving to Seattle and ditching me. That's what's going on now. He'll be back. He'll be back at some point. I don't know. Maybe he's decided to move because of me. I don't know.
You think he's gonna like the rain?
I don't know, because he's been living in the desert for so long.
Oh, it rained a couple days ago. Oh my god, it was glorious.
Dude, that was great. Yeah. You see it snowed on the mountains out by like Superstition Spring or Superstition area?
I did not. I should have looked.
Yeah, well, the mountains beyond that had snow on them. I noticed it today, so it must have been pretty heavy the last couple days. So snowed up north too.
I can see a mountain from where I live, but I don't know which. What's the mountain all the way out there?
I mean, well, it depends. Which are you looking like? East Mesa beyond?
Yeah, way.
Yeah, that's past Apache Junction. That's Superstition Mountains. Superstitious Mountains.
Isn't that where the Lost Dutchman's?
Yeah, the Lost Dutchman thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then way out past that, I don't know what they're called, but they had snow. So
okay, well, there you go.
Well, here on the Game Deflators Podcast, though, we like to talk about games we've recently picked up, games we're currently playing, and we get ready to die in this week's inflation deflation segment. More so you than me, because I've played this game before.
Oh, come on now.
We play some Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yes.
Yeah, it is definitely one of my favorite games of all time out of the Soulsborne franchise, and I'm disappointed you don't want to play it all the way through.
No, it's not that I don't want to play it all the way through. I want to. You're
just getting old. The controls just aren't mapping correctly. Right.
The hand-eye coordination just it's not working. I kept mixing up the buttons. I kept instead of attacking, I started throwing stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm doing something. Oh, and then all of a sudden I stopped throwing stuff because I ran out of stuff to throw, and then I got killed.
I haven't played it for a while now, since before I had a PS5, obviously. So at minimum, it's been what, 5 years, just about.
You didn't play it. You didn't refresh yourself on it before.
I did before. So what I'm saying is that it took me a moment too to get the controls back. So
fun fact, did you know it is supposed to be the next Tenchu game?
Yes, I did know, but it was supposed to be kind of like that. That's initially how it went through, and that's why there's so many similarities between the two.
Yeah, but unfortunately, no, I just made it its own thing. I brought it along. Yeah, there you
go. Oh, very nice, very nice. Mm-hmm. I have the collector's edition, so I got the statue hanging up in my my gaming area. Obviously, this is a library office area with magic cards and a table. Yeah.
When are you gonna move your rig over to your gaming area?
Never. It's just not conducive for me to do that unless I got like a high-end laptop and moved everything over there. I'm not gonna do it. I tried at one point. I actually tried doing a green screen behind me, and it was such bullshit. So anytime I moved, it would like flash on this program, like the green screen would like jack up. It was crazy. So decided against that. It's just gonna be this background. People are just gonna have to imagine what my game collection looks like. Actually, here, let me see if I have the picture for all the friends on YouTube right now.
I forgot. That's right. We are on YouTube now.
Yeah, we are on YouTube. All right. So there's the background. Did it click? Yep, there it is. All right. Hey, look, now it's all jacked up. It's all screwy. So no background.
The green screen doesn't help much either, because I got a green screen, so I could put a perfect background behind me and whatnot, and it's just a waste of time.
For sure.
I wish I had my $12 back that I gave to Amazon.
Oh, I returned it. It was like, and I paid like 40 or 50 for mine. I got like a big ass one that connects behind a chair and everything. It's just because the camera I'm using, like this is like probably about 2 feet to my right, and then this is like another 2 feet this way. So it's got a pretty good like spread on the camera. So yeah. But
back to Sekiro.
Yeah, well, no, we're not going to talk Sekiro yet. The other things we're going to talk about.
I thought we were doing it.
No, we haven't gotten even into my social media pitch yet. Like you're going to hear that. So we're gonna be doing or we're not doing, we're gonna be talking rule of rose conspiracy theories, mainly me and then you defending Italians. Um and and their pallet fines apparently. Uh Mind you, I am Italian as well, so just not fluent in anything. Yeah. Um we're also going to talk Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. There's some stuff going on in there that people aren't happy about, some characters missing, maybe DLC, highly doubt it. And then we'll finish off with some Sekiro. But first, before we get into any of that, you can find us on the GameDeflators.com. You can also find us on X at Game Deflators and on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and Blue Sky at The Game Deflators. We're also on YouTube, as we have already talked about, with no green screen and no video games behind me. So like, subscribe, hit the little button when you know we're on, and go ahead and find us on podcast applications that are out there. Will, what is your pitch?
I should have wrote it down. I'm Will. We don't have a unifying podcast store or front. You know what I mean? But
I do. You mean we should unify it, as in having both of us?
No. I'm talking about PlayStation Ain't Dead. We're spread all over the place. It's me, two other guys. You can find me on Instagram at Will Ain't Dead, on Threads at Will Ain't Dead, and then also on Twitter X on Will Ain't Dead. On Facebook, it's PlayStation Ain't Dead, or PS2 Ain't Dead, PS3 Ain't Dead, PS4 Ain't Dead, blah blah blah. And but no, the most important thing is PlayStation Ain't Dead on YouTube. You can find us there and go watch it. And we just had our 69th episode last night.
Why wasn't I on that?
I don't know. Why weren't you on?
Well, I mean, it was the perfect number of episodes for me to be on. I'm just confused why you didn't invite me.
I don't know. Maybe because I was your third choice to have on.
You were my first choice.
Yeah, that's what you tell me. But then again, you also believe in wild rule of rose theories.
Hey, look, I am grounded in my research right now. Even gonna head out to Italy right now, start cracking down some church doors and finding more copies of Rule of Rose hidden. Probably it's gonna be in the Vatican. Just gonna start pickaxing the ground.
Yeah, you'll fall through and you'll find the Rule of Rose, the Ark of the Rule.
There's gonna be like walls of demo copies everywhere, not for resale versions.
Oh, man.
It was supposed to be 1 million copies, and unlike throwing them into a desert landfill like ET, they just buried it in the Vatican.
I don't know. You're Italian. You tell me. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe I don't get those deep dark secrets. I'm not full Italian. Okay, I see what you're talking about, a unifying thing though too. Like you guys don't have a PlayStation Ain't Dead like Twitter specifically.
Dude, yeah, we don't. I mean, James, the other guy, he's got a PlayStation. He's PlayStation Ain't Dead on Twitter. He's PlayStation Ain't Dead on Instagram. I don't know if he messes with Threads or not, but yeah, he just plugs himself because he on the PlayStation Ain't Dead channel. James is chronicling his PS5 full set quest. So he's going for a full PS5 set. So Sean, the other guy. And they're going for a full set, and that's where you can find all that on PlayStation Ain't Dead. And he just posts pickups and just educating people on the stuff he gets along the way.
I don't have that much money. I'm not getting a full set.
And he does some filthy reselling and some filthy trading on the side. And, he doesn't talk about it like a smart filthy reseller shouldn't. But I think that's how he. That's how he funds his collection.
I mean, that's how we all funded our collections.
Well, at a point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going out and like specifically buying a big collection just to resell it to pick up like one game.
Yeah, you know? those days are gone. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not buying mass sets. That's a young man's game.
Yeah, we talked about it. We could, right? The deals are out there to find. It's just a matter of like, do I really want to sit there and parse through lines of video games and go meet up and check out the disc quality and then have to list it all? Like at this point, just buy what I want, which I guess we can get into our recent pickups.
Oh, I brought a stack.
Yeah, you brought a stack. I brought one. So I got Astral Chain on the Nintendo Switch.
Well, is that a reprint? Is that the reprint? You sure?
They had a reprint?
Yeah, well, I was talking to Sean. He said, "Yeah, that game was pretty rare. It was rare for a minute, and all of a sudden they're all popping up all over again." I think VGP reprinted it.
Not that I'm aware of. This game has been floating around the $40 price point for a while. It's never been rare.
Not rare, but hard to find.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it was hard to find, but it's been everywhere. I've had my eye on it for quite some time. It went up recently in price on GameStop's website, so that kind of triggered my attention to eBay to see if I could get it cheaper. Let's see, Astral Chain. No, highest price was, let's look at complete in box, $50 3 years ago. There's literally just like a wavy line from release to now. It's been around the same price point. This is actually, yeah, it's been 33, 35, 37. It was just 3 years ago, but it was in the 40s. It's just one of those titles like what is it, Daemon X Machina, I think is the other one on Switch. That's just, it didn't have like wide appraise, but I think it was a Switch exclusive, so it had however many prints created for it. But yeah, I mean, you can find, I got this copy for $30 plus shipping and tax. No, it's free shipping, so it came at like 35 after tax.
Sean told me that it was rather hard to find, and so this is secondhand information filtered through Sean. So we're gonna blame him.
He's a filthy reseller, so he would want it to be high in price, wouldn't he?
Sean doesn't resell shit. You know what? On the last episode, did you? You haven't watched it yet?
Not yet. No, not yet. But I did see that there is a video game that's being slid open and it was blurred out. So it's either that or you.
Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah, it's Poop Slinger. He opens up a sealed Poop Slinger. The son
what?
Of a bitch.
Does he really? Oh my god! Where did he even get that? He just bought it.
He just bought it. The guy's bad with money. He's you've seen that meme before. Hey, I'm not rich. I'm just bad with money. And that's him.
So he spent a decent amount of money to get it sealed, only to slice it open and lose what, $200 off the top.
Well, you got to think about it. That there's probably fewer open ones than there are sealed ones out there. So it's probably
now it's open.
Yeah, it's probably a rare example of the game.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm assuming you guys looked at the disc and did he play it yet?
Yeah, no, he said he probably never played. You go watch the show. He slices the thing open and he throws it over his shoulder.
What? Well, I mean, he's slinging it.
It's shock value. You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah. So I don't know. Catch that episode from last night or 2 nights ago because it would have been the Saturday.
Oh yeah.
This will be out on Monday. All right, your pickups. You got quite a bit. I did see a green case, so it sounds like you're diving into Xbox games.
Oh, a little bit. We're gonna touch on that. Melty Blood. I got Melty Blood, Japanese only fighting game. Beautiful game. Used to be expensive, but I guess there was like a bunch of new ones came out. Yeah. SVC Chaos, SNK versus Capcom.
Very nice.
Never have to. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh, the dreaded Amazon loose disc. I'm assuming Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I got from Amazon.
Yeah. That's the only vendor that I ever get loose games from.
Oh, it's a PS4 plague, dude. It's just terrible. But I have it digitally, so there's no reason to open that. I just needed it for the show.
You just shake it every now and then.
Yeah, I bought this. This is Revenge of the Bird King.
Oh,
I hate it. I don't want this game.
I had my eye on that. So it's not worth it, or
no? I bought it because of its historical significance.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate it, and the only reason I hate it is because it's got this filthy hippie on the back. It's just not for me.
What's the historical significance behind it?
Well, it was there's a big metal Jesus brouhaha around this game. You'll have to look it up online. He was the only one who had him, or he knew he had the hookup, and you had to go through him to get him. But now, it's lost some of its juice. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Some of its sauce. Picked this up the other day. Celebrity Deathmatch.
Nice. We've reviewed on the podcast before. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's. I put about 20 minutes into it. I don't like it because you don't just get to pick your fighters and just go fight. It's just like, here's the episode. You can either be this person or that person, but that's locked in.
But in multiplayer, I think you can.
I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah, I recall multiplayer because Ryan and I played some multiplayer on it. It's if you grew up watching Celebrity Deathmatch, it's definitely fun and quirky, but it's certainly kind of aged.
No, well, I got it looks just like the TV show from what I remember.
Yeah.
But I would when I was going for a whole PS2 set back in the day, that one never entered my collection. I saw it, I was like, yeah, let's try this out because I'm on a fighting game kick. So
it's not terrible. It's pretty decent.
Oh,
for what it is. Yeah,
I'll check it back out again. It's a little horny too because it's got
Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, no, who was it? That one blonde, Anna Nicole Smith. Is that her?
Oh yeah, Anna Nicole. Is it Anna Nicole? I thought it was Pamela Anderson.
Well, I'm sure she's in it too, but Anna Nicole Smith, she's got some squirty booby attack. But anyway,
I thought it was like maybe it's Pamela Anderson. Like it turns into machine guns.
I think I saw that episode.
I want to say
it's in the game,
yeah.
But we'll see.
Some old times there.
I also picked up Dead or Alive: Extreme Fortune. This is a Chinese game, Asian game. You got to get the Asian games if you want it in English. So
there's a trend on this week's pickups.
What are you talking about? It's a trend in all my pickups. I bust the balls about the horny games, but you know what? They're my favorite kind of games to collect.
It's like that's my genre.
But yeah, that's my shit, man. And
wait, was that 16 plus or 18 plus?
Oh, it's 18 plus.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's a horny game. Okay. I titled one of my episodes like that. Last time you were on, in fact, it was, I think, horny game discussion is what it was titled.
It's a good subject. I recommend. And Onishambara.
Nice. I got that one too.
Bikini Samurai Squad. So yeah, this is for the Xbox 360. I don't have an Xbox 360. I am going to start chasing a couple. I'll probably, when I end with my 360 collection. Well, where are you going, you son of a gun? When I end my 360 collection, I'll probably have like a dozen games at most.
Oh, you're looking for one of these?
Yeah, did you test it?
This one is tested. This one does work, but the rubber band on this one, I'm guessing, is dirty. So you have to use the little emergency thing here to roll it out. Like get a paper clip or something to poke up this. It's usually like the rubber band is dirty and sticking into gears. That's typically what it is.
Is this the one that was stashed away in your garage?
No, this is one that I had actively been playing before I got an Xbox One.
See, I picked up Tenchu, I think it's called Tenchu Z, the other Tenchu game on the Xbox 360.
That's actually why I picked up an Xbox 360, is because I got Tenchu Z for like $8.
Well, I picked up Tenchu Z. I wanted to play it. I went to go put it in my son. He has an Xbox One, I think it is. I went to go put it in there, but no, it is not.
Oh, it's not compatible?
No, it's not. So
what?
I don't know if this one is yet. I haven't had a chance to test it. But I need an Xbox 360 just so I can play that game. We put it in and we looked, and no backwards compatibility.
Really? What the hell?
Yeah, It is what it is.
Interesting. I didn't know it was not backwards compatible. With Xbox One, you said?
Well, whichever it is. What's not the latest one, but the one before it. Okay, the latest one is XS, right?
Yeah, Series X and S. So Xbox One X or whatever specifically doesn't work. Huh.
No, Xbox One, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, interesting. Well, I will test my other 360s, because if that's the case, then I want to play Tenchu Z.
Multiple? How many did you find in that cavernous? You found 4 Xboxes.
Yeah.
Well, one of them's bound to work.
Yeah, I think I got.
And you promised it to me. You said you'd give it to me.
I think I have one upstairs as well that I haven't.
You said you'd give it to me if it worked, you son of a gun.
I said give it to you. I said we work on a trade.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm on the show. That's a trade.
No, it isn't, because I go on your show.
That's not a fair trade.
It's plenty fair.
Oh, I said I was going to expose you, but yeah, he did say. Everybody out there listening, yes, he did say he'd give it to me, but now all of a sudden it's a trade. Shit.
I have the receipts.
Look at this guy.
I have receipts.
This guy holding my. So do I. I can doctor him too.
I'm going to pull it up directly on Facebook.
Over the calls. No.
You know what?
No one's interested in your lies.
We're going to get to the bottom of this. Hold on.
No, we're not going to get to the bottom of this.
The problem is I send you too many damn text messages.
The bottom is you give me an Xbox 360.
I'm going to navigate through all the memes and everything else.
I was promised one by someone else. All I had to do is pay shipping. And then I went back. I was like, yeah,
shipping.
Yeah, sure.
We live in the same area.
No, this was somebody in North Carolina. It was the Pickin' Preacher. I don't know if you ever watched him. He's
Pickin'
like, yeah,
Preacher.
He came in. He's a filthy reseller. He came in the chat and he's like, yeah, well, I'll hook you up, man, no problem. Then he messaged me, yeah, I'll hook you up, no problem, just pay shipping. I was like, cool, all right. And then I contact him the next day. Yeah, what's your PayPal? He's like, oh, I sold it. I sold it on eBay.
Well, you don't have to worry about me selling it. It's clearly sitting in my garage and upstairs and on my floor in my office. So I have Xboxes everywhere, apparently.
So why else did you need a trade for one? God, man, if I had 7,
because it's going to be sold, or I'm going to trade it to you.
You son of a.
But it'll be at a very reduced and affordable rate. I'm not going to be like, hey, Will, it's worth like $200. Give me $200.
Filthy reseller.
No, I'm not, because I'm not reselling it. I'm trading you. You have something that I have something you want, and you probably don't have anything I want, but we'll see.
Was it? I'm whatever. We'll talk after this.
You don't have excess stuff?
No, I don't. I don't keep a trade pile. Those days are behind me. I'm not buying lots to get rid of. Actually, I got some Xbox or some PS3 stuff I'm thinning out. You maybe
see. The beautiful thing is, I was actually just going to give you a bunch of like Xbox games that had their scratch to shit that I'm going to have to go get buffed out. So I would just be like, here, Will, take all of them.
Just give me.
Now I'm on the record for giving you free games. See,
just empty. You're cleaning out your closet. Is what you're doing.
No, they're actually on the shelf. They're actually on the shelf. That new shelf I got, all of my like resell type stuff is on that bottom area.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
try to expose me. Come on. Is it timeout that you have to go pee?
Yeah, it is. Give me a second. You can edit that out.
I'm just gonna. I'll edit that part out. So we're gonna do a quick pee break for Will. All right, we are back from Will's pee break. Just be very. By the way, I just sent you a video while I was waiting, and it might be the most American video I've ever seen. It's pure Americana, but we can get to it later.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not podcast appropriate. All right. Let's what are we currently playing?
This guy sends me everybody.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty bad. I've sent you some crazy stuff. We don't need to get into it. But currently playing, so I am still playing Fantasia Neo Dimension. It's not bad. Has Sean talked about it, or any of the other guys? Have they played it yet?
Fantasia,
no. It's all right. Like in terms of the way it was promoted was original creator, Final Fantasy, audio and all the music was going to be original style, and it has that kind of feel to it. But the game itself is just okay. I do like the battles. The story is kind of forgettable so far. Like do you care if I spoil anything?
No, I'm not going to play.
Okay. So the biggest plot point that's come up right now is you have Leo, who's this guy that has like lost his memory, has no idea what's happening. Cheryl, which is a princess for a queen that recently passed away. And they go for a queendom instead of a kingdom. So the father is not really a king. He's kind of like a lord in the sense. And then similar to Rise of the Legend of the Shield Hero, that anime, kind of that queendom style of, I don't know, monarchy. And then the other character, like major character, is Kina, who's this like random girl that grew up in the home of a fortune teller or something. And so like the biggest plot twist so far is, as I'm watching, the two characters, like their closeness and some of the things that are revealed, I'm like, oh, they're sisters, 100%. And so like an hour and a half as I'm playing into the game, we're like, oh, it looks like you're my sister. I'm like, yeah, I figured that out a while ago. And they make it like this big plot twist. And I'm like, no, it was very obvious from the start what was happening here. So
they're anime girls, right?
I guess.
No. Really. Are they in that same modern Final Fantasy style?
No, not really. It's God, I'm trying. It feels like more like you said, anime girls, right? Like, and even the guy is more feminine in how he's dressed and his his look and everything. So
queendom, feminine dudes. Sounds woke as fuck.
Yeah, I just booted up because I wanted to try it out. I heard good things, and it's not terrible, but it's not like the best game I've ever played. So after I finish beating this game, I'm going to dive into probably Blood Omen on PS1. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking like it's. I'm thinking PS2. I was like PS1.
Yeah, I'll play that on PS1. That's a pretty short game. I think it's like 10 or so hours, and then I'm going to go into playing Witcher on PC for my new games resolution.
I have Witcher, the Ultimate Edition, whatever.
On the Xbox?
No, on Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox 360 has Witcher 2, and then Witcher 3 is on the PS4 and PS5 and every other console.
The PS4 is, I think it's Witcher 3, PS4. Might as well play the latest one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and then Witcher 2 is on the 360 and the PC. And then Witcher 1 is only on PC.
I have been playing. I got my screen up, so I've been playing. Well, I game Sean and a friend of mine, Terry. They played Split Fiction, and I got on the headset and I watched them play, and so I consider that. Yeah, I played that.
Did it look pretty good overall?
I don't like it.
Oh, really?
Okay. Well, maybe because I wasn't playing. I was just sitting there. Go left. No, you're doing that wrong. I was just yelling directions.
Backseat gaming.
Yeah, it was fun, and I could. Have you ever done it before? Game?
Yeah, I played It Takes Two.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking about when someone else is playing a game, you watch it, and
yeah, I've done it.
Yeah, I was putting the cursor all over the screen. They're getting mad. I played Sekiro, Soul Calibur 6. I just got that in. New game, Speed of Llama. I'm testing that one. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and that's my son's been playing that. Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not. It's the week.
Speed of Llama. You're testing the PS4 disc version for Steelbook Games.
Yeah, J-Rod.
Yeah,
Steelbook Games. Freshbird Games.
Freshbird. Well, no, because his website is steelbookgames.com.
Yeah, he's working on that. But,
okay, I gave him a lot of feedback and I never heard back.
No, but no, I play the PS5 version. I just put it in. He sent me the code. I put it in. I should wait though because the patch, the 0.1 patch is coming out later this week. So.
Yeah, I have a code too for it. I haven't messed with it yet on Speed of Llama.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, and I played Celebrity Deathmatch. And just for a couple minutes.
Gotcha. All right. Well, shall we jump into our conspiracy theories?
Yeah, let's jump into your conspiracy theories.
Well, my conspiracy theory. Okay.
And I will speak logic and maybe talk you into seeing things.
All right, we'll see. So the background on it is Rule of Rose, the PAL version, was at one point UK specific copies were pulled off shelves years ago. Very few made it into the wild, and then because of that, it had a very high price point. Last year, right? Or was it end of 2023?
That sounds about right.
End of 2023. Apparently, a pallet was found of these games. Or actually, we didn't even get told the pallet. They just said a bunch were found, and the assumption was like, okay, there isn't a whole lot that were released, so a few hundred games, or it may be. Well, here we are, almost a year and a half later since that occurred, and we're at 833 copies from one seller sold, 15 on another account that he has. Keep in mind, I also saw other accounts from this guy over the last year. The specific seller in like the 60s and 70 range. He's got multiple listings at different price points. If you go to his shop, they're not listed on his shop at all. So they're like these hidden listings everywhere. And then that's not even counting other sellers who have copies of the game. So these were starting at about $390 to $400 in euro, which for us is obviously a little bit higher. No, I think it's about the same on the euro. I think it's British pound that's higher than us.
Yeah, the British pound is definitely higher.
Yeah, British pound is higher. But they were in euros. Yeah, a little bit higher, but not like the pound. I think the pound is about double what we are for the US dollar. Or maybe like $1.50 or something like that. So regardless, all of these games are plummeting the market. So what was initially like a $600, $700, $8 game for Rule of Rose and a PAL version is now $200 on the open market through eBay for sealed copies. So game is completely crashed, and people are like, "Oh, it'll level out after all these copies sell." Well, there seems to be no end to Italian copies of Rule of Rose or UK copies.
Yes.
And so my conspiracy theory, and I know we recorded an episode and it got lost in the, I don't know what the hell happened if the episode was just broken with no audio. My thought on it was that this isn't a unique pallet find. My thought is that these are resealed copies or reprints of some sort.
Well, there's no arguing that the rarity of Rule of Rose UK is greatly exaggerated.
Now it is.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was a long con, I'll be happy that these Italians, it was masterfully executed
for sure.
But I still don't think these are reprints, despite not having the PAL strip on them. The PAL.
Now, what about reseal though?
Well, where you say
used copies that have been resealed, or new artwork or something. Let's just say it's like loose copies that have had new artwork printed. I don't know, something along
that's a lot of discs to gather.
It is, but paper's not that cheap, or it is cheap for paper. So I mean, if you're talking reseal and all of that, I mean, that's a cheaper route than reprinting.
Yeah, I don't think they're reprinted. I don't think they're resales. I think it's a legitimate box, but the guy's not telling us how much it is because he doesn't want. He's trying to trickle them. He's trickling them out. He still is. But how big is it? It's got to be a whole shipping container.
Well, see, here's the thing though. I have pictures that somebody sent me a while back of like the actual sale for these Rule of Rose games, and it's a case of 15 games. Like each case is 15 games. So like a couple things here. How the hell does that just stay in storage in like a distribution center and nobody notices a giant ass pallet of Rule of Rose games? Like in all of that period of time, nobody spotted Rule of Rose on the side of a box, because it's very much on the side of a box of paper. It says Rule of Rose quantity 15 on every single box.
You've seen Indiana Jones in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
I don't think Digital Bros has that big of a warehouse.
I think that's the kind of warehouse they found it.
Maybe it is. But like, okay, so 15. I mean, okay, let's just. Do I have a PS4? No, I don't. I have a PS4. Okay, so 15 of these, right? That's what, like this many games, right? Yeah, like a foot or so, right? Yeah, probably about a foot.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So if you got a foot, 15 games, I don't know, man. Let me pull out a calculator here. We're gonna start doing some math on the podcast.
You're gonna roll out a freaking or dry erase board.
Right. So 833 divided by 15. That is 55 boxes. We'll say 56 technically, or we'll round down 50. It's 55.5. So 55 boxes of Rule of Rose as it stands right now at minimum. And the other thing to factor in is that historically, the PAL region was only supposed to get 2,000 copies of this game, allegedly. So if the UK specific game was the one that was not found, that's 500 for the UK. That means all the other regions that are considered PAL that did get allocated theirs would be 1,500 total for 500 per region. So this guy's already almost double what was supposed to be allocated to the UK, unless the original figures are incorrect based on what it was supposed to be for release.
I'm thinking maybe at that. I think once this thing hits 1,000 sold, the guy's gonna have run out. I think 1,000 is the number, because I know the minimum for if you want to order a game through like PS4, if you want to have a game made, I think the minimum's 2,000.
Yeah, but this is for a region, so they were all PAL, right?
Yeah, they are all PAL, but I'm thinking maybe 1,000 per country.
Per region? You think so?
Well, you got Spain. You got to have it in Spanish. You got to have it in French. So you got the French one so the Belgian can get theirs. Italian, Germany, and then of course the UK. I don't know if there's a Norwegian copy, or I don't know.
So
there could be a Russian one.
If we're thinking 1,000 per region, then this is where it gets even funnier from a PAL perspective. If they're already rare in like Italy and France and such, and those copies are already like in the say 500 that we know of range, then does that mean there's more pallets of Rule of Rose sitting out there potentially?
I do without knowing like the inside, how many are on a pallet.
Yeah.
how many were printed to begin with. There's
55
no
is, yeah, I mean, if you think about a pallet is, you could get 10 boxes per row on that. So theoretically, it could be 100 boxes on a pallet.
I still say it's a barn find. It's a barn.
Well, no, it's an Indiana Jones warehouse find.
There you go. It's just something
Man.
stashed in the back of a warehouse somewhere. Who knows? It could have been wrapped up in so much visqueen you couldn't read the damn thing. Or
Maybe.
is it the plastic wrap, saran wrap, whatever.
Yeah. Makes me kind of wonder, like, should I just contact Digital Bros and be like, what else you guys got? They've probably had so many requests since then from resellers.
Wasn't the guy trying to sell it all at once in the beginning?
Yeah. Apparently he tried to sell everything at one time. Nobody wanted to buy it at one time. So he's had to like put them out individually or through eBay. And of course, he's probably hit a point where he had a 300 something. All right, I'm not selling 10 copies a week anymore. Let me go ahead and drop it down $50 or whatever. So we've gone from like what was, I think mid last year is when you and I had talked about it initially. I want to say it was like 350 or 400 at that time.
What was his initial asking price? Do you remember?
I want to say it was like 395 euros. I want to say, or 350. No, it was about 350. When I saw it, it was about 350. It might have been higher, because it was a pretty high price point to begin with. So it's quite possible that he did have it at a lower rate before I started paying attention to it.
Oh man, like I said, you gotta fly to Italy, dude.
I'm gonna have to, man. I'm gonna have to start blowing up church floors and stuff.
The maps in the fucking airplane, with the little dotted line behind it.
Little Game Deflators logo trailing.
Just gotta stop in Rome and then whatever podunk Italy town freaking Digital Bros is in.
Yeah.
I still think they're legit. I don't think there's
I mean, there's reason to believe it's legit. I mean, a couple things that people brought up that's kind of been debunked is the strip doesn't have like the PlayStation 2 logo, I think, or a clear strip. The security seal.
There are strips on them. I thought that was just
apparently. Well, let me see my messages here, but I got from I think it's a Slovakian guy out of on Facebook that sent all this to me.
Because PAL games with no tear strip, there's precedent.
All right, so he said, let's see. All right, games with the official PlayStation 2 tear strip seal have been produced for a long time, maybe even the entire era of PS2 game development since Silent Hill 2 or Silent Hill Shattered Memories from 2010. This has the official PlayStation 2 seal as well. Some less experienced collectors claim that later releases of PS2 games already have the official, they didn't have the PlayStation 2 tear strip, which is unfortunately not true. In 2006, before the game was released in Europe, the publisher 505 Games publicly announced that they were canceling the UK release of the game, later confirmed by Punchline. Does he say anything else about the strips in this email? He does not. It is Slovakia. I did get that right. Okay, so it's so these don't. These specifically don't, because he said, as most experienced collectors know, every factory sealed PS1 and PS2 game. No, actually, I do. Must have a PlayStation 2 seal with a few exceptions of early release games. So they're supposed to have one. Yeah, and then he says they are resealed copies that have been resealed by the distributor or maybe the game seller. This only applies to the PAL region. I have no idea how it is for NTSC. So his theory, from what I gather, is that these were set to be destroyed and they were opened up or something. I guess, I don't know, maybe to get rid of the plastic and such, but they were supposed to be destroyed. And at some point they got resealed with no tear strip or with a clear tear strip or something. So that's his theory, but they're authentic copies, but they were resealed. So they were open and then resealed by distributors. So let's just say that theory is correct though. Do you think they're considered new, or are they considered new resealed?
Well, if they haven't played, they haven't been opened. Yeah, they're still new.
So then you're in the GameStop camp of pulling
no.
I mean, come on. They haven't. It hasn't been played. It's brand new, right?
No, that's not true. No, if it hasn't been played and been resealed
by the distributor specifically, then I would agree. I would say it's a new copy.
Yeah, it's a new copy. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but
well, Let's get into some other angry gamer stuff. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. You kind of brought this one to light. I saw stuff after we talked about it, so Facebook was clearly listening to me. So everybody's all up in arms because the 3 and 4 new re-releases are not going to have open roam on them for be able to skate wherever you want. And then Bam Margera is not in the game as a playable character. Main reason for Bam Margera is, well, he did a whole bunch of scummy stuff. He's
just a spaz, dude. He's a spaz and can't keep it under control.
Well, he had like addiction issues, and he went to jail, and then he threatened to kill somebody, I think, or like stalk somebody, and was thrown off the set of like one of the Jackass movies. Like a whole bunch of crap that's happened since, obviously, he was in the last game when he was in those games initially.
He's a walking PR disaster, and the funny thing is, earlier this week on Instagram, Tony Hawk's Instagram, he was skating with Bam and it is one of his ramps, and they're all palling around skating, one doing tricks, one jumps flying over a channel, or one guy goes over the other, and getting all rad with it and shit. But I don't think at the end of the day, I don't think it's Tony Hawk's decision, which is why why it's Activision, and and from a company standpoint, it makes perfect sense. You don't want this fuck up on your shit, but much less pay them, and it's just less money they got to pay out.
I mean, could they theoretically do some sort of deal with him and say, "Hey, you're going to get X amount, and we'll make you DLC down the road"?
I think as a lot of people are theorizing, he will be DLC.
Yeah, I would imagine he would be. I mean, I'm not saying they should, but it's one of those situations where if you're Activision Blizzard, like, of course, it makes sense to throw in as many skaters as you can as DLC.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep that humming for a while.
This game is a day one purchase for me. I want the one. Yeah, I want the one with the deck. I'm a huge Tony Hawk fan, and I like I said, I heard the news. I immediately started playing it again. 97%.
If they do a remaster for like one Underground 1 and 2, I would definitely buy that day one.
Well, the thing about Tony Hawk Underground, I can't remember if it's 1 or 2, but Bam is integral to the storyline. I mean, basically it's basically an episode of Jackass, and him and his dad are both in it, and they're grilling the skaters, and these skaters are trying to go pro and shit, and you can't do Tony Hawk Underground without Bam.
Yeah, I mean, you could just bring in another. I mean, it could be Bob Burnquist. Like that's no. I mean, like I'm just saying, like it could be anybody for that matter. It could be Tony Hawk.
No,
but I'm just saying, like it could. I get it, like just based on that style of game and that character. There's not a lot of characters that can emulate that, but you could still kind of get the same general feel with somebody else. It doesn't have to be Bam Margera.
Go watch the cutscenes. Go watch the opening.
Oh, I know. I played them.
Yeah, like it's gotta be Bam. It can't be anybody else. Yeah,
just gotta find
Fat Dad too.
Put the inverse of the name. Like I don't know.
Mab Agabera.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't. Isn't his dad Phil?
Yeah, Phil Margera, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, not Phil. Phil Perez. Not Phil Perez.
No.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me started, dude. This is your show. I'm gonna be trying to be respectful.
Just messing. I know. Oh man. But you know what I mean? Like you could put a different name altogether. I get like likeness and image, it could be different, but you don't have to say it's Bam Margera. You could do a totally different name.
I don't think you can. No,
go back. You can just
go back and watch the cutscene. He's irreplaceable. He is a key element to the storyline. Bam,
I mean,
the character.
You just gotta find some other stoner that's.
My God, no!
Like I do.
John, no.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
No.
Yes. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
No. Yeah. I for one, I want Bam in the game. I don't mind a drunken fuck up. It's fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
I mean, come on. Like, how many celebrities have gotten like second and third chances?
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, for sure.
He's Iron Man, for fuck's sake. Come on.
Well, and then he was in Tropic Thunder, of course, as well.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine if it got released today?
No, you can't. You can't do it.
You can't. It wasn't even that long ago. That's just crazy. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was. How long ago was that?
I can ask Google.
Oh God, we're gonna age ourselves.
Okay, Google. When did Tropic Thunder release?
In the United States of America, Tropic
2008.
March 13th, 2008.
Yeah, look at that. I beat Google. Yeah. So, dude, it was 17 years ago. Oh, God. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't that long ago.
Oh, an aging tear rolls down my cheek.
Yeah.
But no, the whole thing with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, the free roam was you'd run around the map and then you'd meet up with NPCs and the NPC would give you your mission and then you go do the mission.
Yeah.
With
Underground,
Tony Hawk,
same concept as well.
yeah, with Tony Hawk 1, 2, and 3, you had a list of missions, a board, and you had to do it within 2 minutes. So I don't know why they would do that. Just to streamline the game. I don't know. We'll see.
Probably for consistency's sake, but I mean, if nobody has played it, I mean, you have your general things you're supposed to do, which is like, oh, you got to collect skate, you've got to grind whatever type of rail, hit X move, and then on a pipe or something, stuff like that, and you collect those achievements throughout each level, and then that does unlocks more stuff.
Yeah, the secret tape.
Yeah, secret tape. That's another one. So I liked those, to be honest. Like, I was okay with the 2 minute. Like, all right, cool. I've got to do these few things. I know I can hit that in 2 minutes. Like, you never were going to get every single one of them in a 2 minute period. You had to stay focused on what you wanted to do. But I mean, beyond that, I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be free roam in just like free play, right? Like, you don't have to necessarily. That's what I would assume.
Well, but it was just that was the mechanic that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 introduced, and people want that back, and I get it, and because it's changing the game.
Yeah, no, for sure, it definitely changes the game. And they're not gonna push back on that, or not gonna push that back into the game. That's probably already set in stone, So
drops July 11th. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4.
There is more time, I guess, than I thought to do that. I mean,
we'll see what the I don't know. Well,
I mean, if reception is bad and people are saying I'm not going to buy it because of this, and as a developer, you gotta kind of think about that.
They should have just got their mouth shut. Is what they should have done.
Well, yes, but at the end of the day, though, you're going to get a lot of pissed off people as well. You got pissed off people regardless. But now you're kind of setting yourselves up for. But maybe they did that on purpose, right? Maybe we're going to put this out there because it is a big change and see what the reception is, and based on reception, we can take it back and do the open skate.
The internet is for complaining. Yes, sir.
Hey, got Sonic the Hedgehog done, right?
No, this should never have been made. I still refuse to watch those movies.
Really, dude, they're actually pretty good.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're not bad.
No, I refuse to believe it.
The most controversial thing I bring up on the podcast every time?
What?
The Sonic movies are better than the Mario movie. Yeah.
I watched the Mario movie.
I did not like it. It's not my favorite.
I don't care. To this day, my favorite video game movie, Tron. Even though it came out at the same time, actually.
Yeah, and people would be questioning that on that one. It's it was an arcade, so arcade cabinet. Yeah.
Yes. Video game.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm saying there's gonna be people like, wait, what? Like, no, Tron wasn't a video game. It's like, no, there was a cabinet for sure. Played it.
Used to play the hell out of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go into our inflation deflation for the week. So I'm going to be reading off a wiki here. So we played some Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It was developed by From Software, published by Activision in the US and other regions. Japan, it was actually published by From Software. It was directed by, God, I mess up names. I didn't have my hyphens. Hidetaka Miyazaki and then Kazuhiro Hamatani. Got those right. And then it was released on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia, Windows, etc. That was released in March of 2019 and on the Stadia in October of 2020. And people were like, what the hell is Stadia? But it was Google's thing that they were doing. And then it's an action adventure, single player type game. which if you have played the Souls games, you know exactly what it's like. And reception was anywhere from a 9 out of 10 to, well, 9 out of 10. That was the general average for it.
It's a great
So,
game.
oh yeah, it's a
Solid game.
fantastic game. So let's see. Let's give a little background here. So you play. So you control a player named Wolf, a shinobi who embarks on a quest to rescue his lord and becomes embroiled in a conflict for Ashina's fate. It's focused on stealth, exploration, and combat, with an emphasis on boss battles, as most Souls games are. This, as I mentioned, is my favorite out of all the Souls games and related games that have come out. I mean, you can throw in Neo and titles of that nature. This is absolutely like top of my list for all of them. Main reason being is that there is no online multiplayer tied to this, so you're not getting extra support. It is focused on parrying and like essentially parrying. There's no blocking outside of like having your sword up to be able to block. And there is some magical use that you have throughout, but there's not a huge emphasis on that either. It's like truly that shinobi style game mixed in with like your main swords and such. So I do love that aspect. The focus on stealth, like you had mentioned. I think it was when we started. That it's supposed to be like Tenchu, and that's originally what it should have been. So there's a lot of focus on that, which I've been a fan of Tenchu games for years. So being able to kind of focus on stealth, go in with just straight, kills right off the bat, is a pretty cool piece. And then the boss battles are kind of nice because they have like these little circles throughout on the boss battle meter to be able to, do your critical hit and deal X amount of damage to get rid of like those little dots as you go along. So it's from a controlling perspective, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's in fact less controls, I feel, than some of the other games because you're not worrying about pulling up a shield and holding that down and then trying to block. And I mean, it's just straightforward, right? Your R1 to attack and parry with L1, and that's it, right? And then you've got your flask and other stuff throughout as well. So
look at you with the buttons all memorized and shit. I had to pull up I had to pull up the instructions online. And I kept like I said, I kept mixing up the attack and cursor buttons.
Well, the controls are on the game. You just go to menu and you can change the controls up.
I needed it right there. And I find I might think about this game. In order to advance, I find myself having to do perfect runs. So first I sneak up on the deadly giant rooster and fucking murder that shit, and then I stealth kill that one guy, and then take out his other friend, and then and I have to do that successfully to pull. I got to string them all together, and that's the challenge for me, because I'll screw up the rooster, and I'm all screwed up, and then the other guy screws me up a little bit more, and it's just down the road it just screws me up. So everything's got to be perfect, and if the game had save states, I'd be done with it by now. But no.
Yeah, that's the issue of all of those games, right? Like, unless you're getting to, I think in this one it's lanterns, if I remember. I don't remember offhand, but similar concept, bonfire, lantern, every other thing that they've used. I mean, you got to hit that, and then of course all your enemies respawn anyways when you do that. So it's unless you've made some sort of progression, you're kind of screwed. Unless you're trying to level grind, I guess it can help out, But I get you, man. Like if you're not in a position where you are getting a nice perfect run and you kind of get screwed over in that respect, then yeah, like it's going to be tough to progress. And it's like that with all those games.
Yeah, I will revisit it, and I gotta get good. GITGUD. Get good.
When you mention that it's not something that you think you're going to finish, I can see that there are boss battles that, I'm not kidding you, probably took me 20 to 50 tries on some of them.
It took me forever to get past that first big giant motherfucker at the gate. Like I said, after the rooster and shit. But I think I will revisit it. I put a couple hours into it yesterday. I do want to get back, and I do want to finish it because
it has some really good boss battles, to be honest. Like, and the story itself is nice and clean. It doesn't feel as convoluted as like the Dark Souls games, where there's just so much lore tied into it. Like in my view, this game, from a story standpoint, kind of keeps a good pace, and you understand what's actually happening. Whereas Dark Souls, it's you talk to one random person, they give you like the background and lore for like 20 different things that have happened in the history of Dark Souls. And then the next NPC does something completely different. You're like, what the hell's going on? Oh, boss battle. Okay, that's right. I'm in the right area now. Like, so I love those games, but more for the gameplay and challenge. This really kind of dove in from a story perspective, and I did like that.
So what's the money say on this?
Money says a complete copy right now.
This is a AAA game, right?
Yeah.
Is it safe to say AAA? Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I would consider AAA, but complete price is $37.93. So you got to figure it's been out since 2019. It's still holding a $37 price point. Loose copy will run you $36. All this is according to price charting, obviously. So, take that with a grain of salt. Highest price it has been since that period of time. It's actually at its highest price for a loose copy since May of 2020, and of course its release. Same with complete in box. So $39.19. No, it's actually at its peak right now for all of us.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So
is it worth it though?
I think so. I mean, let's see how long it takes to beat this game.
3 years.
Well, in your case, maybe.
So 30... Don't game shame me, John. You son of a gun.
30 hours for the main objectives and 70 hours to 100%.
Oh my. No, I'm not a trophy whore, so I'm not going to be chasing that.
Yeah, same here. I mean, dude, 30 hours of gameplay, and it's actually a good game. Great reviews, and it's held its price all this time. So
the price is just right.
Yeah, I mean, it's at its highest mark. So I mean, yeah, it's where it should be.
It's already on my shelf. So if you told me it was $100, I mean, that price is just right. I mean, remember, everything I do, all this podcast bullshit, it's all its sole purpose to pad the value of my collection.
Well, in the case of Rule of Rose right now, Conspiracy Theories is to plummet the value of other people's collections. Yeah, I think at its current price point, I mean, that's, like you said, just right. If it was $40 and you were getting a little mintier copy because it was $40 as opposed to $37, I think that's still a good buy.
So I'm gonna guess it was a $60 game at launch, right?
Yeah, it was. So there you go. It's not even half off yet. It's been so long. And of course, you can find this game on sale I don't know nowadays because it's been quite a while. It's not exactly a game you're going to be finding in a $20 sale anywhere.
In the back of a warehouse on a giant pallet.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, and there's other ways to play it, of course. So if you got it on Xbox One, it's a little cheaper. It's actually $26 for a loose copy, and $26 for a new or complete in box.
And you could buy a Stadia for $10 and just find it on there saved in the account.
I don't think they support that anymore. There is a Game of the Year edition. It's $40. I don't know what the heck is on it. It says includes bonus content, so that might be the route to go. Actually,
was there DLC for this game?
I guess it says bonus content. I don't think there was.
Probably just a making of.
Bonus content more than likely means like an extra outfit or something.
Ooh, we do love our outfits.
Yeah, and in Japan, actually, it's $57 in Japan for a copy of this game. I would assume the artwork. I don't know. Is it different artwork? It is different artwork. So maybe that's why.
Because they respected the Japanese culture, unlike Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's another conversation entirely, though.
So, I was about to say something, but Ghost of Tsushima was the reason why they made Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? I think that was kind of their
catalyst, their inspiration.
Yeah, their inspiration for the game. It's just interesting because they, obviously published this game for From Software. So, I mean, I know they're not involved in development and everything if they're just publishing it, but it's just interesting that this wasn't like the catalyst to be able to create that Assassin's Creed game. It was Ghost of Tsushima for whatever reason. So
I Ghost of Tsushima actually finished.
Yeah, I platinumed that one.
Oh, you are a trophy whore.
Well, no, I'm not. I just really enjoyed the game, actually.
No, I rolled credits on the story, and I haven't revisited it since. Did you ever mess with the online aspect of Ghost of Tsushima? No.
No, never did. I saw a picture recently of this guy that had like the bamboo rods, so you got to cut with the sword, and you have to memorize like all the buttons. He's like, "Oh my god, I had to go ahead and like look this up or whatever, take a picture, and then look at my picture and refer to it, but you have to hit it in a certain amount of time." I'm like, well, he's taking the easy way out because I sat there probably 20 times trying to get it right, and finally did on like the highest difficulty one. Um, but that's probably the hardest part about that game is the finding finding the bamboo and slicing it. So it was good. I liked it. Did you ever play is it Trek to Yomi? I think would be the other one. It's like of
I
similar
do.
nature.
I got it. I started it.
Is that any
It's like
good?
black and white. Yeah, it looks cool. It's art. It's very stylized.
It's like that
But,
noir style, right?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's like a Akira Kurosawa film.
Hmm.
I do.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta pee again. I'll be right back.
Well, no, we're almost done. Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah, we're almost done. Then you can go to your pee break. So
dude, I've been holding it for 5 minutes.
you should have told me 5 minutes ago, then I would have paused it. No, we're almost done here. So that's really it. So our prices or our thought is just right on the price of that game. And then that's about it. So this will conclude this week's episode. So Will can go pee. And this has been episode 331 of the Game Deflators Podcast. My name is John. I've been joined by Will of
That's
the
me.
PlayStation Ain't Dead podcast. And thanks for listening and watching.
Thanks for having me on, John. Good night,
Appreciate it.
everybody.
See ya.